And welcome. My name's Matthew. Today we're going to check out the CompTIA certification cybersecurity pathway. So we're going to look at three certifications: your CompTIA CySA Plus, your CompTIA Pentest Plus, and your CompTIA CASP Plus. We're going to start off with our CySA exam. So what is CySA? CySA is a CompTIA cybersecurity exam. At the moment, we have the CompTIA CYSA CS 0-003. This is coming out early 2023. Prior to this new exam, we have our CompTIA CSO 002. So the CompTIA cybersecurity exam is an exam all about cybersecurity. It's the idea of it is you're defending the architecture of a network. So it's a multiple choice and performance-based exam. It has minimum of 85 questions. The passing score is 750 out of 900, and it is $392, which is equivalent in euros. So the CySA Plus exam is CompTIA's Intermediate Cybersecurity Solutions exam. It focuses on security analytics, intrusion detection, and response. So how does this compare to the other vendors? So we have the EC Council, GAIAC, and CySA. So it is vendor neutral like the rest of them. It's targeted at intermediate level experience, and it focuses on the security analytics, intrusion detection, and response. So the CompTIA CySA exam, you can get training on it in CertMaster. The CySA exam can be renewed. It is 60 CEUs to renew it, and you can get various CompTIA bundles from their website. So what the CySA exam is all about is threat and vulnerability management, software and system security, compliance assessment, security operations and monitoring, and incident response. So the type of skills you're going to learn here is you're going to learn how to proactively look at threat intelligence, support an organization's security infrastructure, and perform vulnerability management activities. You're also going to look at the likes of applying security solutions for infrastructure, managing that infrastructure, and explaining the differences between software and hardware assurances. Another thing about the CySA exam is the compliance and assessment. So for that, you're going to be looking at the concepts, the support of risk mitigation, and understanding the importance of the frameworks, policies, and procedures and controls. We're also going to be looking at, for CySA, security operations and monitoring. So you'll be required to analyze data as part of this exam. You're going to have to look at the types of monitoring activities. You're going to have to look at implementing configuration changes to existing controls, and you're going to have to improve the security posture of an organization's infrastructure. CySA concentrates on incident response as well, and it's all about applying the appropriate types of response, the procedures to analyze the potential for indicators of compromise, and you're going to have to utilize digital forensic techniques in this exam. So what the exam covers, the main topics are leveraging intelligence and threat techniques, analyzing and intercepting data, identifying and addressing vulnerabilities, suggest and prevent measures, preventative measures, and effectively respond to recover from incidents. So CySA meets the ISO 17024 standard and is approved by the Department of Defense to fulfill Directive 8570. It's also compliant with regulatories under the Federation Information Security Management Act, which is FISMA, and it's also accredited by ANSI. So, CompTIA CySA is an IT workforce certification that applies behavioral analytics to networks and devices to prevent, detect, and combat cybersecurity threats, continuous security monitoring. So, what that means is, if we have a look at why you're going to want to do CySA, the skills you'll learn when you're doing CySA is threat and vulnerability management. You'll learn how to analyze and proactively prevent threats. You'll learn about threat intelligence, supporting an organizational security infrastructure, and performing vulnerability management. For CySA, you'll also learn about software and system security. You'll apply security solutions for infrastructure management, and you'll explain software and hardware assurances alongside best practice. For CySA, you'll also look at compliance and assessment, and you'll look at applying security concept in support of organizational risk mitigation and understanding the importance of frameworks in IT and cybersecurity. You'll also learn with CySA security operations and monitoring. You'll learn how to analyze data as part of continuous security monitoring. You'll look at activities that implement configuration changes to existing controls to improve the security. CySA is all about incident response, so you'll learn about and how to apply and analyze the appropriate incident response procedure. You'll potentially look at the indicators of compromise, and you'll also look at utilizing basic digital forensics. So the depth and breadth of CySA is quite large. So it covers a multitude of cybersecurity requirements. The best way to prepare to CySA is to have your 4 to 5 years of certification and experience. The kind of person that'll be doing CySA is your tier 2 SOC analyst, the person who's a security engineer, an incident response handler, a threat hunter, compliance analyst, application security analyst, all that kind of stuff. So CySA, once again, it is recommended to have your Network Plus, your Security Plus, and your 4 years of hands-on experience. I would 100% recommend that before going to even take this exam. You don't want to be taking this as an entry point, as there's quite a lot in it. The best way to explain CySA is it is a cybersecurity solutions architect exam. It's intermediate to advanced level. It's vendor neutral. It has performance-based questions in the exam, and you can prepare for CySA utilizing your virtual labs, your study guides, your instructor-led training, and your e-learning as well. CySA can be renewed, but it is a 60 CEU requirement. So if you're looking at doing CySA, just bear that in mind. CySA cannot be renewed through CertMaster as well. So hopefully that helps. So we're going to go back to, and we're going to have a quick look at the Pentest Plus exam. So the CompTIA Pentest Plus is for cybersecurity professionals who do pen testing and vulnerability management. It's probably one of their most comprehensive exams in terms of pen testing. It's the only exam that I've seen on the market that includes all aspects of vulnerability management, and it has the most current penetration testing, covering the latest techniques and attack surfaces. So the components in the Pentest Plus exam are you're going to plan and you're going to scope your pen testing engagement. You're going to understand the legal and compliance requirements, and you're also going to have to perform vulnerability scanning, pen testing, utilizing tools and techniques, and you're also going to have to produce written reports to effectively show pen testing that has been completed. The pen test is compliant with the ISO 1724 standards and approved by the US DoD to meet Directive 8140 and 8570, just like CySA. and it's regulated by ANSI, who accredits the exam. So the kind of skills you're going to learn with pen tests, you're going to learn how to plan and scope a pen test. You're going to learn how to gather information and run vulnerability scanning. You're also going to look at how to um, see the attacks and exploits used in pen testing. You're going to have to look at reporting and communication, and you're going to obviously have a look at the tools that you will use for pen testing. So the planning and scoping includes the emphasis on governance, risk, and compliance, and it focuses on customer requirements, the types of ethical hacking mindset, and all that kind of stuff. So, for the information and gathering vulnerability, you're going to be looking at the updated skills on performing vulnerability and scanning, passive and active reconnaissance, management, as well as analyzing the results of exercises that you complete for clients. So attacks and exploits. So you're going to be, for this, it's going to include updated approaches to expand attack surfaces, researching social engineering techniques, and performing network attacks. You're also going to be looking at wireless attacks, application-based attacks, attacks on cloud technologies, and performing post-exploitation techniques. And for reporting and communication, you're going to be looking at the importance of reporting, communicating in a heavily regulated environments. During the pen test process, you're also going to be analyzing findings, recommending appropriate remediations within a report. And of course, for pen testing, you're going to be looking at the tools that you're going to use. So anything from analyzing script or code samples to use cases to tools used during the phases of pen testing. And you'll also be looking at what you call scripting and coding as part of it. So the kind of person that's going to be doing Pen Test Plus is a security consultant, a cloud pen tester, a web pen tester, cloud security specialist, network and security analyst. So the kind of companies that utilize this are, your likes of your Dell, your Ricoh, your Target, your SecureWorks, your Intel, all that kind of stuff. So every 3 years, the pen test exam gets a refresh. So we're now at PTO-002. It has a maximum of 85 questions. It's performance-based and multiple choice. The length of the test is 165 minutes. The passing score is 750 out of 900. It is recommended, once again, that you have your 3 to 4 years of hands-on information security experience, and the costing of the exam is $392 equivalent in euro. So how does the Pentest Plus compare against the others? They are all intermediate to advanced level certification. It focuses on pen testing and vulnerability assessments. It is vendor neutral, like your certified ethical hacker, your GAIC pen tester, and your offensive OSCP security. You can prepare for this exam using the study guides, the virtual labs, the instructor-led training, CertMaster, e-learning, all that. Pentest Plus can be renewed. It is 60 CEUs needed to renew that exam. So, with that said, we're going to move on to the final certification in the CompTIA Cybersecurity Series, which is your CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner. So, CASP has been refreshed recently. It is now on CAS-004. So what is CASP? It's an advanced level cybersecurity certification for security architects and senior security engineers charged with leading and improving an enterprise cybersecurity readiness. It is the only hands-on performance-based certification for advanced practitioners, not managers. And it is an advanced level of cybersecurity. So unlike other certifications, CASP covers both security architecture and engineering. A bit about the CASP exam. Interesting exam. So it covers architectural, engineering, and integrating and implementing security solutions across complex environments to support a resilient enterprise. It uses monitoring, detecting, incidents response, and automation to proactively support ongoing security operations. It applies security practices to cloud, on-premise, endpoint, mobile infrastructure, alongside considering the cryptography technologies and techniques used. CASP is also compliant with ISO 1724 standards and is approved by the US DoD to meet Directive 8140 and 8570. So, interesting things. What are the skills you'll learn with CASP? You learn security architecture, you learn security operations, governance, risk and compliance, security engineering, and cryptography. So, what that means is for security architecture, you're going to be looking at hybrid networks. You're going to be working towards enterprise-wide security. You're going to be looking at the likes of zero trust, advanced secure cloud and virtualization solutions. For security operations, you're going to be looking at addressing advanced threat management and vulnerability management. You're going to be looking at risk mitigation, incident response, tactics, and digital forensic analysis. For governance, risk, and compliance, you're going to be looking at your PCI DSS, your SOX, your HIPAA, your FISMA, your NIST, your CCPA. And then for your security and engineering, cryptography, you're going to be expanding your focus on advanced cybersecurity configurations for endpoint security controls, enterprise mobility, cloud and hybrid, and enterprise-wide PKI and cryptography solutions. So jobs that use CASP, very simple: security architect, SOC managers, security analysts, senior security engineers. Companies that utilize it are the likes of your Dell, your HP, your Microsoft, your Ricoh, your John Hopkins, your Splunk, your Target, ExxonMobil, all them. CASP is a different kind of exam. So the CASP Plus, the new version came out in October 2021. It has a max of 90 questions. It's multiple choice. It's 165 minutes. The test is not based on a path, is not based on a score. It's a simple pass or fail only. You do not get the score ever for this exam. It is recommended to have a minimum of 10 years of general hands-on IT experience with at least 5 on a broad hands-on security experience. My recommendation is to have your ITF plus, your A plus, your network plus, your security, your CySA, your Pentest, your cloud plus, and your project management plus alongside Linux plus. So you need all that experience behind you before you're going to sit an exam like this. This is a whopper of an exam. It's $494, which is about equivalent to about 500 quid in euro. So it's not an exam you want to fail. So how does CASP compare? It is an advanced cybersecurity solutions architect exam. Compares to ISC squared, CISP, your GOIAC Enterprise Defender, and your ISACA CISM. So all of them are advanced. All of them are vendor neutral. It focuses on cybersecurity practitioner skills, architectural and engineering. So it's the only performance-based exam out of the 4 of them. CASP, you can start your training with CASP through e-learning, virtual labs, exam prep, study guides, instructor-led materials. CASP can be renewed. It is the highest CU requirement of 75 to renew it. With CASP, you can get multiple different bundles. So there's a great selection there. What a lot of people say about CASP is it's a very much a military kind of defense exam. So it's going to be your highest level certification that you'd need in the DoD to be IAT level 3. And a lot of people say the person with this certification is the one who's going to get hired, and that came from the likes of Robert Blanchard in Aspen, who's the director of support and skilling. So This is a serious exam for someone who wants to gain the highest level of certification with CompTIA. We're going to just quickly go through the CASP spreadsheet, what you'll actually learn. So CASP is the only hands-on performance-based cybersecurity certification for advanced practitioners. What you learn out of it, you learn security architecture, you learn security operations, you learn security engineering, cryptography, and you learn governance, risk, and compliance. So what that means is for security architecture, you're going to have expanded coverage to analyze security requirements in a hybrid environment. You're going to implement zero trust, and you're going to have a high level of securing cloud architectural and virtualization solutions. For your security operations, you're going to be looking at expanded emphasis on newer techniques addressing advanced threat management, vulnerability management, risk mitigation, incident response tactics, and digital forensic analysis. For security engineering and cryptography, you're going to have an expanded focus on configuration of endpoints, enterprise mobility, cloud and hybrid, PKIs, cryptography solutions. And for governance, risk, and compliance, you're going to expand on your advanced techniques to prove an organization's overall cybersecurity resilience against compliant regulations such as your PCI DSS, your SOX, your HITRUST, your SOC, your GDPR, your FISMA, your NIST, and your CCPA. So with that said, CASP is CompTIA's highest certification, and obviously it's most challenging one. So thank you for joining me on the cybersecurity pathway with CompTIA, and I'll see you again in my next video. Thanks a million. Bye.